More than 75% of eligible San Diegans have received at least one dose of the COVID-19 vaccine, but recent numbers indicate that Black and African American San Diegans are among the lowest vaccinated groups. And here to help us verify the facts about the vaccine is family nurse practitioner Samantha Williams. Welcome.
Thank you for having me.
Now, some folks were not getting vaccinated due to concerns about losing work hours or being able to afford the vaccine. What are some of the main reasons you're hearing why people are reluctant to get the vaccine?
So what we're still seeing out there is that there's still lack of access to care, and that could range from the inability to take off work, the hours of operation that are not conducive to the community it serves, or even things like transportation. But there's also still deep distrust within the minority communities. There's misinformation still out there from non-credible sources. And then there's also despair. Despair is a real thing in minority communities. I can tell that people often look at it like my odds haven't changed. And that is really frightening to hear, but it's a level of reality that I've always known and many of our community members have known.
COVID-19 has claimed more than 600,000 lives nationwide to date. That's greater than the population of Baltimore. And the reality is that Black and Latino communities have been disproportionately impacted by the pandemic and hardest hit. There are a number of reasons why.
Yeah, just the fact that they make up the primary portion of essential workers, right? Always on the front line. There were a lot of pre-existing comorbidities that already existed, multi-generational family homes, and then it really goes back to that lack of access to care.
The San Diego Black Nurses Association is addressing vaccine hesitancy. What do you want people in our community to know about the vaccine?
I want them to know that we are still going strong. We are out there to provide opportunities to get vaccinated if you're ready. Really just letting our community know that there isn't just this simple spectrum, right, of getting COVID-19 and either you're asymptomatic and you're not really affected, or getting COVID-19 and unfortunately you die. There is this huge number of people that are continuing to experience long hauler syndrome. A study that recently was published by the New England Journal of Medicine really highlighted the continued number of people that we're seeing that are having these COVID long hauler syndromes, right? And these things can range from muscle weakness to kidney failure, exacerbated respiratory issues. And so these are people being impacted that either already had some of these disease processes, and then these are also people that these are new diseases. And so we really want people to understand how much COVID-19 can impact your quality of life and to take it as serious as it is.
The Multicultural Health Foundation's Together Against COVID Coalition is working to get the word out and really trying to reduce those barriers to access. You've hosted a number of mobile vaccination clinics, one on Juneteenth. Another is being offered this Saturday, June 26th at the Jacobs Center with a ton of resources available. Sounds like the spot to be. Tell us about it.
But that's being put on by the Multicultural Health Foundation, one of the trusted leaders in the community, Dr. Aflalo, and several other community leaders. And yes, those are amazing events. They're calling it a parking lot party. And so those events offer a lot of wraparound services, right? Like blood pressure checks, cholesterol screening, mammograms, live music, entertainment. And one of the key things that I think people don't think about prior to coming is when they get there, just the level of community that we're able to have, right? Being in a safe space with each other.
And whether it's to be able to hug a family member or go to concerts or even worship together, everyone has their own personal motivation for getting the vaccine.
I had a community member share with me that this is her level of activism, right? And I thought that that was just so amazing, you know, just to be able to understand that if I want to be active and engaged in my community, I can't be that if I'm not healthy. And so one of the first steps I need to take is I need to get vaccinated. People wanting to be able to now visit their family, their grandkids, being able to travel. When we were vaccinating people, when we were reaching that elderly community, I was just astonished to really see how many members of the community that were elderly were living in fear of coming outside, of opening their door and crying and sharing how important it was for them to really be able to live in that space of not living in fear.
Get the facts about the COVID-19 vaccine at blackcovidfactsSD.org. Samantha, we thank you so much for taking the time to share this valuable information.
Thank you for having me.
And we thank you for joining us on San Diego Living. We'll see you next time.